that glow. Let's go! Woo! Click your boots, grab your pack. We're never looking back. Stamp the map, shout EarthCache, treasure in a science stash. Rocks and rivers, sand and snow. Check your card, you're set to go. Geo Bingo, Geo Bingo. One more find and shout, let's roll, yeah! Circle every EarthCache square. Geo Bingo everywhere. Geo Bingo, Geo Bingo. Call it out in a crazy echo. G-E-O, let the fun all flow. Geo Bingo, go, go, go.
Look, it has like a theme. It has a theme song to it. Isn't that great?
Is that John's new theme song?
It is.
Does he get that played kind of like a wrestler in WWE as their entry music? Is that his entry music?
It is.
That was a good one. That was good.
Oh man,
Go, let's go.
yeah, John. Does that get played at every like class you do now? Too?
No, it could. It should.
Oh, okay.
I'm teaching a class to some folks in North Dakota this week, so I should most certainly.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it.
And Van Miranda.
I'll send it to you.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, we haven't done a song lately, and I thought that'd be good. So, all right, let's get this show on the road, man. This is going to be awesome tonight. Big thanks to our new patrons. Wait a minute, we have no new patrons. This doesn't happen very often. You know that? If you'd like to support the show, gives me a chance to mention this. If you'd like to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/geocache talk, and you can support us, and you can help pay bills because we got a bunch of them. And $3 a month. Heck, that's not even. Used to say that was about the amount for a coffee, but nowadays you can probably buy. You take $3 into a Starbucks, you're not getting anything. You're not. So
I don't know what one costs, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd give somebody a high five for $3 if they.
There you go.
Yeah,
offered it.
I'm thinking you're not walking out of Starbucks for less than $5.
No.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Slice of pizza for $3?
I don't think so, Gary. The lunch special for like 2 slices and a soda where I go, it's like $10 nowadays.
Oh, damn.
You must not have CC's Pizza in New York then.
I miss my friend.
And our featured patrons, states and countries that start with the letter I. Anthony, Josh, David, Steve, and Jason. Thanks to all our patrons for keeping this show and all the shows on the air. All right. We'd like to welcome our host or our guest for tonight, John. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks for having me back. Always a pleasure.
Absolutely. Mr. All Things EarthCache. We appreciate you so much. And what's funny is there have been a couple times when there was something said, and I was like, I wish John was on, or at least in the chat room. And sure enough, you would chime in. It was like, yes, he's right there. He's jumping right in. I loved it.
Absolutely.
I think it was a week before or something. It was so funny.
My theory is, John, you know how Spider-Man has Spidey senses? My theory is John has EarthCache senses.
I agree. Yeah.
May have to use that one day.
There you
Excellent.
go.
That line.
We got a couple twigs, which is this week in geocaching. So I'll do mine. Mine's again a short and sweet. Mine is, of course, we're working on getting our next Motley Caching Crew day, which is next. It was going to be this Saturday, but we moved it to next Saturday. But I tell you, it ain't looking good for that day either, because it is cold as heck here. It is cold, cold, and it is snowed outside, and it's definitely not, because it's one thing to have snow. It's another thing to be around all these people who have no earthly idea how to drive in it. Those are the people that scare me. I mean, I can drive in it. I used to travel all the time. I spent 1 year. I spent 50 out of 52 weeks traveling, but I've been all over. I've driven in some of the worst weather imaginable, and I know Jesse and John both can. But I'm more worried about the Yahoo next to me that doesn't know what the heck they're doing because they've never driven in it, and those are the people that, those are the ones that drive me crazy. So, oh, what is this? That is oh God, I can't believe that. 30, isn't it? No, it's cold.
What did it get down to, Gary? What's your lowest temp that you got so far?
That I've gotten. You mean on this little snowmageddon?
Yeah, and your little I got a winter snow coming in.
It's 20 right. It's 20 right now here.
It's also nighttime.
Well, that's true. It feels like 7 degrees
to Texans.
Heck, even John's only got 16.
Hey, we've probably dipped down.
Gary, it's like a heat wave. That's like 16 times warmer today than yesterday in the morning.
But if you were living in Tampa, Florida, 72. So there you go. Anyway, so a little chilly right now. But
hey, 60 is cold. I have to put on like sleeves, maybe pants.
Yeah, you got to put on a light sweater. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was got flights to Amsterdam for Worldwide Cache Cruise booked, and actually we got some decent prices that have been out there. So those of you going on the Worldwide Cache Cruise, good luck, because I tell you, it's up and down every day. It does. It seems like a crapshoot.
It's crazy.
Trigger those. So anyway, so everybody who needs to, you can hunker down and join us for tonight, and I'll pass it over to somebody else.
I was going to say Jesse's on mute, so I'll take it on here. So I want to talk about a few things, guys. It's big shout out to a few people in the chat room because like Nancy, -12 yesterday in Western New York on that one. So brutal. Yeah. So Nancy Johnson and Geocaching Ninja said the car said -17 the other morning for me too. So those that aren't familiar with what beautiful Western New York on here, it can snow. In fact, on here, I found this chart earlier, the top 10 snowiest cities in the world based on annual snowfall. And what is number 10? Buffalo, New York, my friends, on here. So if it's one of those things you're thinking about, like driving through town, and especially for Cache Odyssey New York, feel free to reach out to me beforehand for weather report. I had a few cachers come through JLCSLC2053 in Carpe Cachum, and they came out, and I don't know if they knew what kind of weather we had here. But luckily, I felt good. They reached out, and I was able to help them with ensuring that they got Cache Odyssey New York. So I felt really good about that, and I was very thankful that they reached out. So if you're coming through here, feel free to reach out to me. But guys, I got to tell you something with Cache Odyssey, and we know it just kind of keeps on growing all those favorite points. We officially crossed over that 6,000 favorite points. When I checked the other day, we were at 6,125 favorite points.
Nice.
So, I mean, man, shout out to all the awesome cache hiders on there, the all-star cache hiders. Shout out to all the people finding the caches too. So, yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, thunder sleet here in North Carolina today. I mean, guys, you gotta make sure you're being careful out there for sure as well too. And I don't know how many people saw a video I posted up on Facebook yesterday. It was like 0 degrees in the morning. So I actually, guys, I went out and found a cache in 0 degree weather. I needed my second find for the day. I know John's shaking his head, audio listeners, and
hey, it happens. You got to do what you got to do, right?
I got to do it, man. And it was a cool 3D printed like bird cache that a relatively like newer hider hit. So cool. I mean, like shout out to them hiding quality cache, and I mean, shout out to them doing a 3D printed cache. So I'll fully admit to you guys, I gave it my last favorite point. I have no favorite points left right now at this time.
Oh my gosh, you need to go find more crappy caches.
Yeah,
can get away with
I
favorite
got to go out there, man.
That's one way to look at it, I guess.
More.
You got to find 9 crappy caches before you find a good one.
Oh, yeah. See, the thing for me, which is tough, is like I love, and I think you're doing it, Jesse, too, like quality caches.
Mhm.
And the problem is when you're finding quality caches, you burn through your favorite points so quick, man. You know?
do. Yes.
And I've done it like several times where I've had this like one reserve favorite point, and I'm like, they got to prove to me that it's an awesome cache. And yeah, this new cache hider, man, she just knocked it out of the park. So kudos to her on that one, you know. Oh man, Seaback Drive, yeah, Cache Odyssey, Washington.
Yep.
So the one that Bounce had has been moved. So
Back up.
it's really cool. We'll just say it's near Casa de Bounce. So
Yes.
so it's one of those things, you know, of course with Chad, he did an awesome cache for sure, you know, but it's so cool on that one for sure. And hey Scott, my friend here, reason the show is in portrait mode instead of landscape mode. If you go back to YouTube, YouTube now has kind of like multi-stream delivery.
Yep.
So you can either click on the one for phones, which some people who watch on their phones just want it in that mode, or you can click on landscape mode, you know, as well too. So feel free to check on that one.
Yep.
On that side.
There'll be 2 shows listed on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys, the views on that one definitely show that certain people like certain formats. So it's really cool that YouTube has that
Yeah.
right now. But I got to mention too some pizza news, guys. Okay, because if I didn't mention pizza news, you guys know it wouldn't be me, right? So in pizza news, I got to mention a few quick things on here. In our pizza fans group on LilyPad chat, PWC and PC shared a pic of this like amazing French bread pizza with pepperoni and dill pickles on here.
Oh my!
That he said it was like amazing on here.
Wait!
Are you
Wait!
craving
No!
cheesy goodness? It's time for Pizza Talk. Whether you're at your local pizza parlor, scarfing down gas station pizza, or just
Oh man, and guys, pizza talk.
No.
Gary, people love the pizza, man. They love
do
it.
love the pizza talk. Go
They
ahead.
love it. I'll tell you what though, in pizza adjacent news, in our pizza fans group in LilyPad chat, there was this guy, he goes by the name of Bounce, and he posted this picture of these really cool flaming hot dill pickle crunchy chips, these Cheetos that he loves. So I know. So I thought that
looks
was really
terrible.
cool.
That looks terrible.
No, dude, you got to try it, man. You got to try it.
Pretty
Gotta
sure
try
those
it,
are made
Jesse.
out of the same ingredients as Sharpie markers.
No, not at all. Do not listen to them. Do not listen to them. They're made of magic. They're made of magic for sure.
Magic markers.
No. Oh, magic natural ingredients.
See, there they are.
No, not the marker that John's holding. Not the marker that John's
That was a
holding.
red one. The green one is the one that's the same. So that's
Okay.
that's the issue.
Okay. But yeah, moving on, non-pizza
Okay,
news,
okay.
guys, but coffee news. Tomorrow I have a coffee talk event that has been published.
Coffee
And
talk.
I'm crossing my finger there's weather's good because I think the travel advisory is supposed to lift like a little bit into the event. But one thing that excites me, and I'm hoping the weather works out because, guys, believe it or not, the Willetons on here, Geocaching Ninja, Jesse West,
Excellent.
Static Bird 11, and Dove 78. So I'm crossing my fingers they can attend because they're awesome cachers. But if, you know, the weather's not so good, totally get it, you know?
Yep.
So crossing my fingers on that one. So that's my this week in geocaching.
Okay. Awesome. Jesse?
Mine's pretty easy, but it's so we went out and we got some earth caches and virtuals, which is what we're doing this year. So we're slowing down, picking what we want. Now with the new cache layout, it is kind of hard to just drive by other caches because you see them on the dashboard and you just see them like, oh, I just drove by traditional. Oh, I just drove by this. But we're going specifically after a specific list or after a list of caches that we pick out. We did all virtuals and earth caches this week, and it was just down the coast. So we just went down the coast and kind of grabbed them, you know. And I will say that when we target caches instead of just randomly blanketing an area, my favorite points are draining. I'm under 400 now, which I haven't been under 400 in a long, long time. So I'm in the 300s now, but I'm just draining my favorite points like crazy with all these older caches and stuff. So, but it's funny too because the last 40 something caches we found, we haven't signed a single log.
Right, because
There's been no pen to paper. Yeah,
right.
So, it's been kind of a fun change, a fun experiment for this year. And so those are pretty basic. I do have my event Tuesday, so our second monthly county area dinner event. We'll see how that goes. Because it's so cold. I don't know if people can brave the winter storm down here.
Right.
And then, but it's January, so I'm deep into every year in January. I do a whole a big maintenance issue for everything. I don't have a lot of physical caches right now, so I go and check trackables. The ones that are missing have been missing for a long time.
Yeah.
I'll do something with them, whether I resend them out or whatever else. I go through all the trackables. Send those emails. Hey, you've been holding on to this for 6 months. Care to share it with anybody else? Those kind of emails. And cache page updates too. I go through and see if because they've changed from hosted links to non-hosted links. They got to be hosted on geocaching. Things break, stuff like that. I'm going through and checking all those, cleaning all that up. Modernizing anything of the older caches that are out there. And I've even archived a couple this January. Some old ones that were in Colorado that was kind of leaving just for a little while, letting people get their last chance to find them. I had somebody maintaining them out there, but I don't want them to have to maintain the type of containers I had, which are like ammo cans and stuff. So, I killed a couple of those this week. One was a challenge, and I immediately got a message after that. Hey, I already logged this. Can I already found this. Can I still log it later? Absolutely. That is absolutely what you can do with challenges. Even if they're archived, you've already signed it. You still have the right to go and log it whenever you finally qualify for it. So you're good to go. And then the funny thing that I've had happen recently, I've got some labs that I've talked about here before that I put around an EarthCache. I got a couple of them out there. I tend to get some interesting, because they're different than normal, right? The labs are actually based on the EarthCache that's right there. So it's different than normal. People are expecting, just to pick the 4 choices and move on real fast. So it makes you go over to the cache page, the EarthCache page, and answer the questions based on those. You're standing there in front of it anyway, but it gives you, I've got the answers bolded and in red. So I thought that's obvious. There's no way anybody can mess this up. I've got some really neat logs, and I try to read those really neat logs on these labs that are like, this was very interesting. I thought it was cool. Some people that like and don't like EarthCaches will make comments like, hey, an EarthCache is not bad. If I get 6 finds out of it, that's pretty good.
Exactly.
But I've had some others that are like, this is impossible. It's too hard. The spelling, I understand. You got to get it exactly right. Now, I have it clearly posted on both the lab and the EarthCache what the answers are. They're bolded. They're different color. So I had somebody email this week like, I can't figure this out. I won't accept any answers. So I was like, I'm tired of getting these. So I'm going to reach out. So I reached out to this person. I was like, they're on the page. They're bold. They're red. This person started arguing with me. And I'm like, no, I built it. I know. And there's 2 ways to go with this. 1, either get super pissed and start arguing, or 2, really slow down and inquire as to what's going on.
Right.
So, Cachely, obviously the premier app of all geocaching, it works perfectly fine.
Right.
Other people use different apps, and it strips away all the bold. It strips away all the colors. It strips away other things. So I had her send me a screenshot of what she was doing, and sure enough, it didn't have any markup at all on it. It was just straight text. And she was like, I don't see this. I don't see it anywhere. I'm like, well, it's because it's not on there for you. She was sending me screenshots back and forth. I'm like, here's what it is. Take these. Here's the answers to it or whatever. So I've got to find a way. Now, you'd think with all the talk we've done with color issues and everything else, I would have thought that's probably not a good idea anyway. That's why I bolded them, not just made them a different color. But I didn't think there were apps out there that would strip everything away and would show only text.
Right.
So I've got to re-engineer those, because you can't, it would be too hard if I wasn't given the answers, because it's got to be exact, right? You got to fill it in. So live and learn. That could have been a very negative experience of me calling somebody a moron when they weren't.
Right.
And they actually took the time to show me what was going on and show me that legitimately they couldn't see it. So I've only had a few of those, and I think I know which situation, which app is doing it. I'm going to figure that out before I say it, but it's something I can go back and fix instead of just blowing it off. So now I can improve. So this is January. It fits into the perfect, what we do for January anyway is try to go and improve everything from the last year. So I got to eat a little humble pie this week and realize that, well, maybe I didn't know everything. So it worked out. It was pretty good, but it ended up being a good experience.
Can we put quotes around them? Is what Strek 2 is mentioning.
Quotes around. Yeah, probably can. I'm going to also just drop it in the hint for the EarthCache. So
quote carrot.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to find a way that I can do it without violating any terms of either the EarthCache or the lab or whatever else. But I think quotes might work. I've got a couple other ideas I might do on the page. I'm going to play with it and see what people can do. But anytime you're experimental with stuff, there's going to be some downside to it, right?
Yeah.
Totally unrelated to what we're talking about tonight. There'll be no downsides to this experiment.
Scott says he can look at a couple different
my
apps.
caches there were.
Yeah. Thanks, Scott. That's a good idea.
Cool.
Yeah, he said he can look at a couple different
more field testing, but that's pretty much it for this week. We were just it was more quality maintenance and everything else of all of our caches and everything else than really going out. We've found maybe less than 10 caches this week.
Yeah. Some weeks are like that. All right, let's get into the subject tonight of EarthCache Bingo.
EarthCache Bingo.
That's right.
Say,
Geo Bingo. So I have the link in the show notes if you want to download this. So let's start with when did you come up with this, and how and why or what were you thinking? What was in your brain, John? What was going on?
So we've talked before about how I'm a bit of a goal-oriented person, and as we, in December, looking over my old goals and thinking about new goals, it was like, all right, I understand that not everybody is goal-oriented, and there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, I don't have a goal. I just want to go out and have fun. Great. Okay. How can I incorporate, folks that do have goals, maybe they don't have goals, and get them out to go find earth caches really at the end of the day? And I understand that there's the EarthCache avoiders out there as well. So it really kind of came down to, right?
I'm sitting next to one. Yeah.
And that's okay. And I hear the issues. I see many of their points and why they avoid them. And it's, I avoid multi-caches, and that's okay. I think that's one beauty of the game is everybody gets to enjoy it the way that they want. So initially with my larger crew, I kind of toyed around with like, we should do like a bingo game for like caches in general. And then my little brain was like, why aren't you doing one with earth caches? Yeah. And it kind of came down to, you've probably been to like the Mega or the Gigas where they have the bingo game that is stuff that you have done. And so this was kind of derived off of that in terms of like, okay, well, in 2026, here are a variety of different tasks, and you don't have to complete them all. Really, you just kind of do what you can and as many as you can. And how can I structure that? Almost like the game within a game, because you can gamify something, then people will tend to look at it. And I think I was telling you all earlier before the show started, like, it's been really amazing. I didn't really have an idea of how big this might get until folks started reaching out in the comments on that initial video saying like, hey, I'm in Japan and I'm going to do this. Hey, I'm in Australia and I'm going to do this. And I was like, what have I done? Oh,
what were you thinking? Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. I think it's great.
And incorporate some prizes, and these aren't super expensive prizes, but again, it's not just the bragging rights. The top prize is going to be a year premium subscription, and that doesn't cost right. These prizes aren't going to put me out of my wife isn't going to yell at me, and I'm not going to have to avoid going to the grocery store anytime soon, right? They're fairly inexpensive. I think the entire thing is like $100, and it's like, all right, that's not gonna break the bank. Yeah. But if I can get all kinds of people to find all kinds of earth caches worldwide, like, okay, that's $100 to me. That's $100 well spent. He's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know how geocachers are too. It doesn't have to be a big prize. It's just the fact that there's some kind of competition. There's definitely a segment of geocachers that will do insane things for any kind of competition.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So yeah, that's how it all started about a little over a month ago. And then it was like, all right, now I'm on a timeline because the first is coming up and I want to have everything in place as much as possible. And a video ready to go. And thankfully I've had a number of good geocaching buddies that I was like, hey, I got this idea. I got to come up with 25 different blocks, tasks, things for people to do. A variety of their some are going to be harder, some are going to be easier, so that anybody can participate. What do you guys got? And so people like Snap and Pasha88, Zumbi, again, my own Gishigu, a number of really close kind of circle EarthCache buddies. They all contributed to the development. Ultimately, they're all my choice. So if somebody doesn't like something, they can throw the slings and arrow my way. Unfortunately or fortunately, yeah.
No, it is wonderful. I love this. There's no free spots. I love it. No free spots on the map.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. The coveted center spot is to place it in EarthCache, right? And again,
Right.
Some people might be like, well, that's totally tough. And it's like, wow,
There you go.
I've got these videos out there. I've got these classes out there that, once you create one, I can help walk you through the process, and it's may not be as hard as you think it is. So again, all 25 are some way somehow devoted to EarthCaches, or again channel, but my own YouTube channel, but even that's devoted towards EarthCaches.
Well,
I think you did a good job with varying the topics. I think it's a good spread.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't know if you did this intentionally. I'm assuming you did, but it doesn't favor any one region. So there's different types for different regions.
I think some might disagree. Again, those of us in the South, when you see the glacier one, you're like, how am I? So if you're up north, I think you have a small advantage over the rest of us. And that was not planned. That was because again, I'm in the Alabama, Georgia area, so it's like, how am I going to do that one? I'm not sure.
Right.
But as you're going to explain, you don't have to. You don't have to do that one square.
No.
But we'll get to that later.
And initially for the different right, that's all towards entries. Initially it was like, all right, you got to do a row or a column or a diagonal in order to get an entry. And then upon further reflection, it was like, well, what if I can't do an entire row or an entire column? It was like, all right. So I think we talked about earlier, like the rules. All right, the rules they're fairly set, but at the same time, like, ooh, I didn't think about that. Let me adjust them slightly. So, like again, one rule change was if you complete any 5 non-consecutive blocks. All right, so that puts you in the running, as well. Just to in case people have an issue or a challenge with that.
Well, and that speaks to the goal of what you're doing. Your goal is not to crown an EarthCache finding master. The goal is to get more and more people involved in EarthCaches, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And again, in terms of the scope, I've been surprised, not only just in the number, but a couple of the comments in the initial video were like, I don't really like EarthCaches, but I'm willing to try this. And it's like, okay, that's yes, that's a small win. And if it just takes, 1 or 2, and I can convert them over, if you will, to that, they're more tolerant of EarthCaches, then, everybody wins.
That is a benefit.
Yeah. I just love the publish an EarthCache as a center square on here because, we had a show a while back, and you were in the chat room, and it's like, don't be scared, like hide an EarthCache. And I talked about, like kind of my experience where I had one and the stars must have aligned. I clicked submit. I walked away and I'm thinking, I'll find, like, I'll get feedback in a day or two. And then 20 minutes later it publishes. And I'm just like, wow. I was like, that's incredible. I was like, man, definitely I'm more jazzed to get EarthCaches out now, with that kind of experience. And they aren't hard to hide whatsoever,
Yeah.
And I think we all have like cool areas nearby us where they can go. In saying that, John, like if we publish one, like, is there like a bookmark list of ones around like EarthCache Bingo or something that They can be like
I
combined.
like that.
Let me write that down. Wait a minute. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I just love that because I mean that would show like really the power of what you're doing, to spread the good word of Earth caches.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
no, I like that idea.
I'm going to pop up a question, and we can get to it later, but it's come up a couple times now. So I want to, you may have an answer to this. I don't know the answer to this, but it's come up a couple times. And somebody said, not familiar with search terms for Earth caches. Is it up to me reading the Earth caches thoroughly to know which category it might fit? Or is there a better way to search for them? And that's come up a couple times so far. So,
okay. So one thing that I'm doing, and again, this was another good idea that is just making me go, oh, okay, but it's worthwhile. Was I've already put one video out for Yuma, the Yuma Mega, and I've got another one ready for the Florida Mega coming up, and then Bamarama will be the next one in the shoot. But for all of the megas that are out there in North America, I'm planning on doing like a prep video, if you will, where I will look about an hour, maybe 2 hours. Yuma was 2 hours. Florida was about an hour out radius, and then kind of say, hey, I think that these Earth caches can fit these blocks. And the question is a valid one, right? An Earth cache can actually meet the requirements for more than one, although they don't stack. You can only use one Earth cache find for one block, with the exception of the Find 12 in 2026. So I had the question. I had somebody email me earlier today saying, "Hey, I'm looking at. I'm planning on a trip, and I'm looking at this this dry lake, this playa. Like, which one does it? Is it water cycle or which one is it?" So I pulled it up. They sent it to me. I pulled it up, and I was like, "It's actually 4. So it could be rocks. Depending on what the description has." It could be rocks and minerals. It could be the water cycle. It could be again, there were 4 different ones, let alone the fact that it's above, it was like 800 meters. Okay, so there you go. You got another one that now it's above the 1,500 foot mark. So that's okay. So you can kind of mix and match, right? Clearly some are going to fall under maybe more specific ones, but at the same time, there's some latitude on how, it really kind of comes down to like, make an argument, right? If you think that it's a dry lake is one for a water cycle, okay, well, make me an argument, and I'm willing to absolutely take it in and go, yeah, that makes sense. Again, I'm trying to have more inclusion, if you will, for how what kind of Earth cache the topic applies to which one. There's absolutely overlap.
well, and if you're thinking about it now in January, it's kind of difficult. But come May, June, July, when you've found, if you're finding a bunch of Earth caches, you don't have to, don't even worry about your strategy as much right now, I would say. Just start finding Earth caches. Unless you come across something good, because they don't go away, and you don't have to assign them right now. You can just find what you find. If you live in Florida, there's some that are very obvious. There's also some, like volcanoes, that are not going to be very obvious. So just start finding them, and you can always kind of pick and choose for it later, right? Like you said,
can classify them any way you want. Yeah. Whatever is going to work best for you. And if you only find 12, okay, well, or you find X number, okay, well, look at them all and figure out how many. How can I maximize my entries? Hey, if I use these 5 over here on this column or this row or this diagonal, hey, it works great. I'm not going to be the arbiter. You get to be. Tell me which ones you think fit. Where, again, there are some, make sure you read the guide. I would argue before you start looking, and I'm always happy to accept questions, but yeah, definitely read the guide, because it'll be like, hey, I kind of did answer that, that question in the guide.
I had one that I wanted to double check on, which was, can it be about Spock, or is it, can I use his father Sarek for the answer to this?
Gary has frozen his brain. He's just making stuff up now.
Oh,
it must be cold in Texas. It really must.
I think I read this wrong. It's on volcanism, not volcanism. Okay, I'm okay now.
And what made me laugh is I had somebody that I taught a class to in Chattanooga. He was like, yeah, I think that one is going to be really hard for me to fill. I was like, hey man, it says right there igneous rock as well. So if you find something on any kind of igneous rock, well, you've met that requirement. Oh, that's right. But if you also find something on granite, well, that's going to meet the requirement for rocks and minerals, and it could be for others as well. So there's a lot of overlap at the end of the day.
Oh yeah. If you just go out and start finding caches, you'll probably be all right.
Yeah. And this is so cool. And it's funny, the first time I saw the bingo card, I didn't tell this to Jesse. I thought about Jesse and I'm like, is Jesse going to gamify trying to hide one for as many squares as he can on here? You know?
Do you think I would get away with putting a volcano earth cache in Florida and say, this could have been here, but it wasn't? Here's what the real lesson is about.
I mean, if you have igneous rock that is somewhere in Florida from it, John is saying this works, right?
Yeah, I mean, there you go.
But you might be surprised. Maybe there is a building stone, a memorial, a statue, something made out of granite, somewhere in the great state of Florida, and it's like, okay, well, that qualifies for that one.
Yeah, and I think this is Pasha, right? Pasha 88. She's actually saying she's already hiding as many as she can to align with that. So that is awesome. Big shout out to you.
What happens if we hide one of each square? Is that a special prize?
Ooh.
So my little brain, because I don't have enough to do in my channel and all of this, was like, all right, how do I do this? Am I going to do this next year? And how do I've already started the game. Like maybe I need to have like an advanced one as well as a more beginner type. And maybe I have one for those that are like, Pasha or Blues Note or Chet 13 that are just crushing it. Sin City Chewbacca, like all those folks are just crushing it, creating some. Like maybe I have a different card just for them with, up the stakes a little bit with the prizes for that. So yeah, my brain, I'm 11 months away from that, and my brain's already starting to kind of chew on.
Yeah. Welcome to our world for the last 10 years. That's every time we think we put something out, like, okay, is this too hard? Is this not too hard? There'll be people flying around the country doing crazy things, and you're like, oh, that's right, it's geocachers we're dealing with.
Yep.
But what's crazy is that people will they'll rise to the occasion. Like, hey, you know what? Put one outside of your state. Like, oh, well, I gotta go do that, or hey, go find one outside your state. Like, okay, well, now I gotta go travel again. If I want to go find the glacier one, well, I'm gonna have to go up north somewhere and somehow.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good mix. I'm sure it took a long time to decide exactly. There was some that went on the chopping block or whatever, but it's a good mix. And, I think people that are interested in upping their game in this aspect this year should jump into this. And that's what we're seeing pretty much so far. So,
yeah, that's exactly what I've seen as well. Yeah.
Well, let me bring the room down a little bit. Let me read some of the rules so we can all be on the same page, if that's okay. So
rules. Geocachers don't read rules.
I know.
They're more guidelines.
That's right. They're guidelines. They're suggestions.
Guidelines, yes. And like both Jesse and I have been in the world of not reading the descriptions. So let me read these real quick. So participation is open to any geocachers with an active geocaching.com account, premium or basic. Participation is free. No task completion is required to enter prize drawings, but will only equate to a single entry in the prize drawing. So, don't send in 400 pages of entries thinking you're going to get some sort of sweet deal on that. Each card consists of 25 blocks. Each block contains a specific task to complete. No free spaces. Maximum of 13 entries on the card. If you look and you can see, you can do 13. You receive one entry per row, column, or diagonal completion. This means 5 blocks in a continuous line, total of 12 entries in this manner, 5 rows, 5 columns, 2 diagonals. You receive one entry by publishing an EarthCache in 2026. Every 5 non-consecutive blocks you complete, you'll receive a single entry. That's an interesting point too. I don't think we've really talked about. See the end of this document for a visual depiction of various examples. Again, it's in the show notes if you want to do that. And I think John put it also in the chat room in case you want to go look at that. See the block notes, found criteria for more information. For EarthCache finds, log must be successfully completed and logged as a find on geocaching.com. Deleted or invalidated logs do not count. EarthCache Bingo terms conditions is right there. You must publish an entire new EarthCache for your EarthCache publication, so that's important. Adopting EarthCache does not count. Reviving or recreating a previously purged EarthCache does count. That's interesting. Which makes sense because it's a new EarthCache.
It's a new EarthCache, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because they'd be old and outdated and everything else. You'd have to update it all anyway. So
Yeah.
And it really kind of came down, in developing all of these. And actually, I reached out to ChatGPT for a little bit of help on those.
Right.
Was all right. What kind of questions am I going to get from geocachers? Let me see if I can, and I know I'm not going to outthink everybody, but let me see if I can figure out what the box looks like initially enough so I'm not getting crazy questions. And again, if I have to modify some of the rules, that's fine. Like I had one already where they sent in. So like one of the blocks is to use the EarthCache or Pass tool, right? That's there so that people know that there's that resource out there that they can leverage, and it's easy to use. And again, doesn't take that much time. But somebody had used it, and then before I had an opportunity to get a hold of them, they were like, don't worry about it too much. I've already turned it into an EarthCache, and it's like, all right, I have to make a ruling on this, if you will, because I don't want people to, you don't have to necessarily wait on me, but the circumstances were like, yeah, if it's already an EarthCache, then you can't go back and then send in an EarthCache or Pass form because it's already an EarthCache. Now, by that token, if I get super busy and get behind and you send in the EarthCache or Pass tool, and then you know what you're doing and you turn it into an EarthCache, well, that's on me, if that makes sense. And I don't want to hold up the process. And somebody else asked, well, is that stacking? If I use your tool and then I do turn it into an EarthCache, is that stacking? It's like, no, that's not stacking. That's actually, to me, a logical consequence of you send me a form, I take a look and I go, yeah, this could absolutely be turned into an EarthCache. And then you turn it into an EarthCache. Yeah, that's what I want at the end of the day is more, quality EarthCaches that are out there. So that's just a logical outcome potentially. And at the same time, if you send in something with the tool and it can't be turned into an EarthCache, you still get credit for using the tool.
I think that's what Scott's asking about, is explain that tool a lot better. So the link to the tool is in the description or in the notes or in your guidelines. They
are, yeah. So the tool itself, over the course of 2025, I was getting so many requests via email for like, hey, can I turn this into an EarthCache? There was like, this is crazy. I need to kind of standardize this because people aren't giving me necessarily all of the information that I need in order to answer that question. So you see, it's a simple Google form. It's got a handful of questions. Have you been in there in the last 2 months? What's the location? Is it an open space? Like, so you're kind of giving me a variety of information. What do you think it is? And then some photos. And so you send all that stuff to me, and then I'm going to give you, a couple paragraph analysis of like, hey, these are the questions that and I'm trying to train you at the same time. Like, this is the stuff that I look at in order to determine if I can create an EarthCache. Do you have any proximity issues? Can the public access it? Is there any safety kind of issues going on as well? Right, things that, again, I am not an EarthCache reviewer, right. But if if there's a proximity issue, if you've got the same topic within a 45-minute, an hour drive away, like I'm trying to reduce your frustration so that you don't put something in there and then they kick it back and you're like, you know what, I'm never going to do this again, because you didn't understand that there was that rule out there. Right. So I'm just trying to preheat it a little bit. But again, I'm not a reviewer. I always make sure I say that.
Well, you play one on TV though. That's good.
That's right. You play one on TV.
Just like Jesse. Jesse is not a reviewer. I've heard that rumor.
Never ever be a reviewer. Never.
Which you keep on saying that, and I'm like, if you keep on saying this, you probably are a reviewer.
You could be, yeah.
You can't be secret anymore, anyway. First of all, but
yeah.
Well, you have a year to be secret, but
true.
No, I would never be a reviewer. I would go back to playing chess first. I'm not doing it. I'd find something else. But it does bring up a question. Have you had a chance to talk to any of the EarthCache reviewers about this bingo?
I have not. No.
I would be interested to know what. I mean, they're friendly. I mean, you've talked to several.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're great. If they could make a comment, I'd be interested to know what they think about it.
I communicate with them anytime I have a question, or somebody that's in the class comes up, or again, an issue or a question comes up. They're like, oh, I don't know the answer to that, but that would make a great question. Let me. One came up today with Zumbi out in California. We were talking about a proximity piece, and if you're like 15 minutes, so California, it falls under GeoAware USA 9. His distance ratio or driving distance is 45 minutes. So if you're out on the trail, like 15, 20 minutes into the trail, where does that 45 minutes start? Does it start from your car, or do I take 15-minute walk? And then I don't know. I don't know what the reviewer would say, would say about that. But I correspond somewhat regularly with the reviewer down under, 2 out of the 4 in the US, 9 and 10. And then the Canadian reviewer on a semi-regular basis.
Yeah. First of all, people, I know we don't want to do a whole EarthCache show. We're talking about this bingo, but people don't realize how few reviewers there are for EarthCaches, like worldwide. There's not tons of them. So people are like, it didn't get published instantly. Not everybody has that magic like John does. It's like 20-minute EarthCache publishing, but
that was like the stars aligning. And
yeah,
and I appreciate you mentioning that, because it's just like in that instance, I was just like, oh my god, I like won the EarthCache lottery.
That'll never happen again, probably, right? Yeah. But that's amazing. But there's very few of them, and they have to go through a lot of submissions and everything else. And I've heard people say it's hard, or they didn't get back to me. My normal reviewer gets back to me in a couple of days. Well, there's more of them, so But anyway, I'll be curious, and I'm sure at some point we'll reach out to them and talk to them. But I'm curious to see what their thoughts are about this bingo and encouraging people to do more caches, more EarthCaches.
I do know that 2 of them, the one down under and then 9. I know that they are subscribers of the channel, so they may have already seen everything. They have not reached out to be like, hey, this is a bad idea. What are you doing? But again, right, the overall theme is for folks to, I got it, the center square is there, but the overall theme is to get people out and to go find a variety of different EarthCaches, or to know, the different resources that are out there. Again, the channel related ones, if you simply comment on one of the videos, okay, well, that's a block. If you attend a class, okay, or watch the videos that I have, that's a block. And then, what was the EarthCache Pass? That's these are not overly. Those are some of the easiest ones. Right.
Sure.
I think the hardest one, depending on where you are, is the lonely one. There's not tons of those out there unless they're an extreme area or something. Finding a lonely, like I said, I'm not even talking about the ones in my state, because somebody else will jump out and get it before I get a chance to get it. But it's going to be a travel for me to be able to go. I've looked the normal places that I travel to, and there's not a lot of them.
Wow.
The analysis that I do for these megas, like the one I'm doing that's going to come out here in a few days for Florida, there were none, at least within an hour's distance. And I'm not surprised. Many of them were more. I was surprised how many urban and how many state park EarthCaches were within an hour of ground zero for the mega. So yeah, it really does depend on where you're at the end of the day.
Yeah. And John, how are you defining lonely EarthCache in that one? Like, what's the time frame?
1 year or more that hasn't been found in 1 year or more.
Okay.
Yep. You've got a few on here too that are. Oh, sorry, I was say they really are fascinating. They're really interesting. The economic geology, I think, is really can be interesting. If it's done well, I think it'd be very well done as far as the oil and gas and some different economic ones. That one, also the historical geology, both of those I think are sort of underutilized and probably maybe tough, depending on what part of the world I guess you could live in, as far as like, it has to fit these, and I like the fact that you did those that are a little tricky. The planetary one also I love the planetary geology one.
If you have any of those near you, they're great.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And the geohazards too is another one I love. I think
so. There's 10 topic based categories, if you will, and while again I'm the ultimate arbiter or creator, that was Snap was like, hey, you should go check out this challenge cache up in New York City or outside of New York City, and I found that and I was like, oh, there was like 12 there were a variety of different, like, hey, go find one of these. I was like, I'm just gonna steal this almost verbatim. Had some additions and maybe some subtractions, but like, I work for the government. I was in the Marine Corps for 20 years. Like, I'm all about like taking somebody else's work and making it my own if I can. So yes, kudos to the geocacher up outside of New York City. I think it's on Long Island that provided the impetus, the idea for, again, the majority of well, maybe not majority, a good solid block of the blocks.
Yeah.
This is cool. I'm actually thinking, John, like maybe I should update my EarthCaches and like right on here be like, this fits the criteria of the following for EarthCache Bingo.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Like, 'cause it's just saying like I have the first like natural gas well here in Fredonia, New York. So I could be like, hey, this could fit maybe economic or history or one like that,
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, but this makes me think too, like, man, is somebody going to try to hide like a mini EarthCache power trail somewhere with some of these too?
Oh, I like that idea.
Hey, if they're legit, that's great.
Yeah,
right?
And then if they did, John, would they get booted or would they still be permitted to play the bingo game?
What if you find a EarthCache power trail?
If they hid an EarthCache power trail to start to fulfill some of these.
Oh, if they hid it and then found it?
No. If they hid this for other cachers. So let's suppose, random name, there's this guy named Jesse, hides a lot of EarthCaches. He wants to create a mini EarthCache power trail where people would have to go on like 2 or 3 of these like mini power trails for EarthCaches to be able to check off a lot of these bingo cards. Would Jesse get like booted out of EarthCache Bingo for doing that?
Why are you trying to get me booted?
No. I'm not just saying random name.
Yeah, that's a random name.
Lifetime ban out.
Not sure if you've seen the last 2 that he created.
Yeah, or hypothetically, I mean, it could be somebody named Pasha 88, perhaps.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, hypothetical name.
It was her.
Yeah.
Hey, first of all, how do you define a power trail? Because I might have already done it. So
Right, he probably has.
I have strung together about 6 in one area before.
Couple other quick.
In fairness, it was Colorado, where everything is an EarthCache. The whole state is an EarthCache.
That's right. The whole thing is. That's like Florida. I think I showed that earlier.
There's a lot of them in Florida too, but so we got a few hiders down here, so it works out.
Gosh, you got a ton in Florida. It's amazing how many EarthCaches are down there, but it's good. Butterfly Girl says that the history was easy, the economic not so much. Go fix it.
And I think this is it. It's good too
Depends
because
on where you are.
Yeah, this is going to force people to kind of, even if people were kind of into EarthCaches or had kind of found some before, it's going to be like that challenge I was talking about where you do it by the categories of EarthCaches, that's the old pre-moratorium challenges, because there's not really a checker for that anymore. There's not a checker you can't just plug into a checker and go, oh, this is this category. So this is going to cause people to like read deeper and understand the categories, because this is one of those categories, unlike every other icon type, that there's more to it than meets the eye. There's not an automatic checker for I found 1,000 puzzles. So there's that. They don't break it down automatically for you. So you have to do a little reading, and you have to kind of read the cache page and understand what categories are. And I think this is going to lead to a lot of that for the people that were just kind of tiptoeing in before. They may actually get more of an appreciation for what they're finding now. Well, we'll see, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
And of course, it's hard for me to track. I can see how many people have left a comment in, especially that initial video. What was crazy was, and that's probably where I saw the handwriting on the wall and was like, oh, what have I done? Within less than 2 weeks, it became my #1 video with the most likes and the most comments. And that's anytime somebody puts a comment on one of my videos, I always try to comment back. So if you take out even half of the comments, it was still the #1 commented, video for me so, it went viral for me. It went viral. And within 2 weeks, since the beginning of the year, my number of subscribers has gone up like 20%. So it's been, I can't attribute it all to EarthCache Bingo, but like a huge amount, most certainly to EarthCache Bingo. And again, that's I think just great for the community overall that people are just jumping into this with both feet and completely embracing it. Again, even some of those EarthCache avoiders, like, all right, maybe I'll try this, and see what we got going on. So that's huge win for everybody involved.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention, I'll put a banner up for it and put it in the chat room, but for everybody, John's YouTube video or YouTube channel is youtube.com, obviously, at all.things.earthcache. So there you go, All Things EarthCache. So perfect, and I'll put that in the chat room as well. So excellent. I wanted to go over a couple, if I can, also a couple of rules I passed over. So let me do that real quick. So we talked about stacking again. No stacking of EarthCache finds except for obviously the 25.
Correct.
So that's critical to make sure you get the rules correct. Go through the document, go through the guidelines. EarthCache Bingo terms, rules, and conditions guide is out there. It's also in our show notes, so you can always check it after the show. EarthCache publications, you must publish an entirely new EarthCache. We talked about that. So
and part of the key for that one is also like it has to be done before the 31st of December. So if you submit it on the 30th or the 28th or 29th, like the reviewer has to enable it before the 31st. So it's not based on when you submitted it, it's based on when it goes live. So that's a key piece. So don't wait till if you're doing that, don't wait till the last minute. Get your EarthCache.
Right. You put a little note in there too about participants outside the U.S. Criteria such as national or state parks. Please use the equivalent park system in your country. If one does not exist or restricts geocaching in some form or fashion for those parks, recommend either skipping that block or contacting the organizer with a potential solution. So they could contact you, right, John? They could come up with a
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, right. And that was another question that came up, was like, okay, well, what do we do about like tribal, EarthCache is on tribal land? Like, oh, well, like I don't know. So again, as situations come up, as new things kind of come up, I'm willing to adjust the rules and guidelines as necessary. And then every quarter, I'm going to do a kind of a roll up video, if you will, with, hey, here's some of the successes that are out there, and I'm doing videos on all the blocks that I fill as I do them, so that again I'm joining everybody on the journey, and they can see some of the stuff that I'm doing. But if I have a rule change, I'll do a quarterly update on like, hey, here's what's new, and again things like that.
I love how this gets people to think very critically, about like EarthCaches and all the different details with that too, because I mean. There's been like so many sparks I've had during the show where I'm like, oh man, this gives me another idea to hide one, So I'm excited. I'll tell you that.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're cheating because you have a whole county next to you that has only your EarthCaches in it.
No. That's like 240 miles away. Yeah. Just that
county. It's only yours. You own the whole county, so it works out.
Yeah, I mean, right now. But, other people can too. I'd love if other people put EarthCaches out in Oneida County.
There you go.
That gives you something to find.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then also, John, when if you do that, or if you need us to, anytime, we can put that in our updates, our news.
Yeah.
We can add that as well and put it in our show notes and make it notify everyone. So
again, talking about the embracing, I was stunned. I mean, typically I'm not speechless, but GSM times 2 or X2, like he made a video of going out and finding one, and I was like, again, that was another moment of, oh, what have I done? What is going? And it was a really well made video. But yes, that was it was stunned to see how people are just embracing it.
Yeah, he actually commented that he hopes next time you put a Make an EarthCache video as one of the squares.
I got to write that down now, right? Another idea.
That's for round 2. That's version 2. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. A couple of the quick other notes to talk about is the geocachers have all of the calendar year 2026 to complete the various blocks. You must submit proof of their blocks no later than 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 3rd of January 2027. Submission on January 4th, 2027 or after will not be accepted. Makes sense. Unless otherwise,
I have a feeling I'll be pushing that back.
Maybe, yeah. There's prizes. Just trying to find the ones that are the most critical. I want to double check and make sure we get those done. So those are kind of the biggest ones. Again, keep an eye on the rules. If there needs to be an adjustment, we'll make that adjustment then. So
absolutely,
I mean that's critical. Again, this is for fun. I mean, if it gets too crazy, I like what you said before, and I've done it before with us. It's like if the rules change and whatever, it's like, sorry, I make all rules. In this case, although we all do, but as far as the part as a team, it's like, we're the last arbiter of the rules, and if you don't like it, that's fine. Go do something else. But
well, with any contest or game you put out, in this case and with most of ours, it's the idea is to add something positive to the geocaching community, not to get into a rules debate and everything else. Which again is why I'd never be a reviewer. But
right,
they put up with so much crap. But anyway, so I think you've really added something positive. Just this show, your channel, people in the chat room, what we're hearing is people are talking more about EarthCaches, and that's I'm pretty sure you've mentioned that was your goal, to add something to it, to make it more exciting for some people, to maybe give people a chance, and we haven't even gone through the comments yet, but just the comments we're getting is exactly that tone. So you can't ask for much more than that. Now, come January 3rd, when you have to sift through everything, that's going to suck. But up until then, it's a great thing.
Still great. Yeah,
I didn't say when I was going to select the prize, the prize winner. I think that's going to take a little bit. That's going to take a little bit longer. And again, I've already am I going to have to push the deadline back? And that's okay, right? That's fine. That's just helping folks out.
Yeah. One thing I forgot to mention at the beginning was, if you made a comment tonight and we haven't mentioned or talked about it, doesn't mean we have forgot about you. Some of them we put a little star by them, and then we're going to come back to them. In fact, I think we're going to do that right now. So, John, would you run us through all of the starred comments, and let's talk about those?
I certainly will. Yeah. So we got a lot of great comments in the chat room. Thank you, everybody, for putting them. Geocaching Ninja, he commented on here because with favorite points, he said he's still working on handing out favorite points to ones he actually found in August. And he said he thinks he's going to have to hit up the ET highway to get enough favorite points to do that, guys. I know.
That's a good thing. That means you're finding good caches.
That is, but he's going to feel kind of disappointed. I don't think there's a lot of poles that you can climb over in the ET highway to.
Oh, man.
He's just going to run it. He's not going to use a car, though. He's just going to run the ET highway.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't put it past Logan to just speed run it. Be like the fastest time to complete the ET highway, legitimately by one person. I could see Logan doing that.
4,000 caches. How long does it take you to complete them?
Yeah, I mean, he's a geocaching ninja, guys. He can do it.
He is.
hands-on. And then Super Chuckles, he asks, he says, do you guys give out any favorites on here?
Absolutely. Now, John claims I don't because he's given all his out, but we give out favorites when it's deserving.
All mine are gone. We've talked about this before. I give them out to almost everybody. I just give them out like water. What am I up to? Now Jesse's stingy.
I'm not stingy, but I found around 15,000, so I've had a few favorite points to give out.
Well,
So,
That's true.
Butterfly Girl says she has over 600 favorite points.
see,
Now-
stingy
Oh,
than me.
Justin, how many do you have? How many favorite points do you have
I went to look myself on mine.
to give?
I give them out like water.
I've been giving them out a lot lately because, oddly enough, we've been finding less caches, but all quality caches mainly. So they get a lot of favorite points. It may get to the point where I have to go out and find a bunch of crappy caches so I can just build that favorite points back up.
Yeah,
I have
so
I
I
have a
think the
whopping
question was,
60.
Jesse, how many favorite points do you have left to give?
I just looked it up, 387.
Okay,
Oh my
387.
God.
But that's I started the year well over 400, so
That's
Okay.
true.
I've been just
I have a whopping 16. John, how many do you
giving them
have?
out.
Well, and I know, Jesse, if you could give them to Adventure Labs, you probably wouldn't have any left. Just saying.
That's right. Christy would give them all to the Adventure Labs
Yeah.
and virtuals. We do give them to virtuals though. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And we do have a cool guest, Darren Mannix here. Says, hey guys from Australia, it's Australia Day today, going out for an Earth cache later. Little hot at the moment. And he says his cache name is Omega Man 1971.
Yeah, it's hot down there right now. Remember that. It's the opposite.
So they've got the Tassie event coming up in Tasmania. It's a mega down there that just like I'm going to do and support megas, adding my little my little analysis. I'm going to do the same thing for that event down there as well. So yeah, help
Very
out where I
cool.
can. Same thing with Fall Fest up in Ontario. We'll be doing the one. Throwing that out there as well. And typically they're going to be a couple of weeks or at least 2 weeks, or try to be around 2 weeks prior to the event, the mega itself. That's the goal, at least.
Oh, that's awesome, John.
That's a lot of work, man. That is a lot that you're doing.
Yeah. And I even saw this, John, during the show, posted on here, rock solid learning awaits. And I think this was in North Dakota. The NDGCA wants to invite you to an Earth cache class with John, and he's taught the class over 8 years to hundreds of geocachers, and they give you a shout out your All Things EarthCache YouTube channel. But this class is on January 29th at 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time. And they said if you want to attend, Google Meet links will be sent out to the entire NDGCA members the week of the class. So that is awesome.
So if I had to say I had some goals, one of my earlier videos this month was the EarthCache numbers and how the U.S. and North America really, and how we the writing trends and how many per state and per province. And there were, I don't know, 15 or so states that was like, hey guys, like if you like an open invitation, if you want a class, please let me know. And I had already coordinated I taught the class Monday. Or last week to Wisconsin. Yeah, last Monday to Wisconsin, to some folks in Wisconsin. And then already coordinated last month to teach that class with the folks in North Dakota. And then had somebody reach out from Montana about a week or so ago and be like, we would love to host your class. Like, perfect. I would love to teach you all in Montana. And I started really targeting those that had, like Florida, would love to teach in Florida. Have no problem. I will teach anywhere. But let me be aggressive towards locations that have not seen as much EarthCache growth in the last, like New Mexico, they had 0. Idaho, they had actually lost 1. So it's like, all right, is there somebody out there that I can partner with so that I can, teach the class towards?
Yeah.
Again, Florida, happy to do it in Florida, but they have strong growth down there as well.
It seems like Montana would have a lot. That's just so easy there.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised that they have a lot of lonely caches in Montana, and a number of the caches that are there are owned by, I think it's a state park or some entity that has been inactive for over a year. And I think they almost lost all of theirs last during the last purge. So this is where it's one of those things like, all right, hey guys, we need to find these people that are 5 years or more, because their earth caches might get archived.
Yeah. Well, and that's awesome, because it's just like thinking about a local community, and like if that local community doesn't have earth caches, it's like how many people, one, won't really understand what earth caches are, or two, really get the bug to put others out there. So that's awesome, John, on that one. John, it seems like you got Nicole B Genius fired up too. She says she's so looking forward to completing her bingo and helping others finish theirs by publishing more too. So
That's cool.
Seems like Nicole certainly got the bug.
I did want to point something out real quick, which is for those that have not been through John's EarthCache class. I've been through it. It's awesome. It is fun. You learn so much. He makes it a great time experience. So I would highly, highly encourage everyone to go through John's class. It's amazing. So firsthand knowledge of it, and you got to go through it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely always recommend any education you can get, right? Like it's
it's
this
good.
game is fun, it's our hobby, and there's a learning curve with certain things, and earth caches are one of those things, right? And it always helps to feel comfortable. Then you can get in and enjoy a lot more. If you just know just a little bit about it, it's not just walking up and finding something. So it's a little different. But once you like knock that edge off of it, it can be a lot more fun.
Yeah. Well,
I think with earth caches, once you if you try to brave that wilderness on your own, like you might be able to do it. But there's also some guidelines that are out there that are not necessarily they're not written down. I mean, I'll just say it just like that. And so you go through the class, it's like, hey, here are some of the other things that are going to probably stop you from being as frustrated. Because I've talked to reviewers that say, somebody will try to do one on their own, and then I kick it back for these reasons, and they just kind of, they throw their hands in the air and they never try again. And I got it, as opposed to like, hey, let me talk you through the guidelines. And one of the kind of analogies I use in the classes, like when I was learning how to drive a car, that I just didn't get thrown into a car and say, okay, go. There was a kind of a lockstep, purpose behind it, and some scaffolding, so that I'm not gonna. And I get it, earth caching, riding an earth cache is not necessarily the same as driving a car, but there's some skill building that can take place, and I think should take place, and it makes it easier, I think, when you have somebody providing that scaffolding and that
absolutely. And I think, John, speaking to your point here, I mean, I think Renee Trail Snail 51 says she loves the challenge and wants to learn more about earth caches, so this bingo is a win for me. I mean, and isn't that true about geocachers? It's like challenge, learn. It's like you just get people fired up for sure. No way about it. We got Butterfly Girl making a comment on here too, and she says, wish there was a way to search the earth caches on the topics they are covering.
Ooh.
And I don't know about you guys, but this kind of brought up into me, and you guys know I'm like crazy about attributes. I'm like, man, I wish there was more like earth cache or earth cache attributes in the first place, to really search more about earth caches. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah. I don't know how they would do that, not to get us off topic, but I don't know how they would do that, because there's so many different things, right? That it's not just like 7 or 8 things. There's so many different. It's geology. It's a whole science, right? So but maybe somebody will figure that out.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And yeah, Chrysler King 987 says, even if you only want a path tag, geocachers will put a lot of work into it. Absolutely.
Yeah, we like competitions, don't we?
Yeah, no doubt. And GSM times 2 had a great comment. He said he's really motivated to complete as many of these as he can. And he said John is doing a really good job at organizing it, and he loves how he made a video for those attending Yuma on that one.
Very cool.
That is a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's actually not that, again, depending on the number of hours that when I did Florida, initially I looked at 2 hours and I was like, oh, that's a lot of earth caches. I'm gonna have to. I kind of brought it back into about an hour, and I think that's probably the sweet spot. Yuma, again, I used to live in Yuma, so I have a broader understanding of that geography, if you will, and like 2 hours seemed to be a good a good fit. So yeah, it will depend. When I do Bamarama, that will probably be an hour, and that will probably be not a slog, but that will be a number of them to get through, and that's okay. It doesn't take that long.
Yep.
Yeah. And you certainly, John, you got Happy Hodag fired up. He says now he's checking out Earth caches near me. And that was so cool because I think we had so many people during the show said, okay, checking out Earth caches right now, you know?
Yeah. That was the point.
Yeah.
And then again, while you're out there, that one of the main things I teach in the class is, okay, well, how do I find or how do I create an Earth cache? Like, how do I get an idea? And it's like, okay, well, first of all, just be observant. Like, honestly, just be observant to the geology around you. And, you know, just because you find something geologically cool doesn't mean we can turn it into an Earth cache. But that's really kind of, you know, that's an easy first step while you're at geocaching, while you're out driving around to church, to the store, to drop your kids off. You'd be surprised how many you pass by, potential Earth caches you pass by in your daily drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And aligned with that, you know, Scott brings up a couple good points on here. He says the GeoWares really want to help us get our Earth caches out and published. Absolutely. I've always found them to be incredibly helpful. And it looks like Scott also has a suggestion for version 2, John. He says he is hoping that you add a Make an Earth cache video as a square in the future.
I like that.
Oh, everybody make them. Not everybody's going to do that, but
Right.
very cool.
And I know Angel Bandit here too. She said if anybody comes down to Panhandle and rides around with them, you know, they can answer yes and no when they say, "Will that work?" You know,
Will that work? Yep. Nope. Yep.
But again, right, that's what that's why I developed that Earth Cacher Pass tool, so that if you see something like, okay, well, you know, jot down a couple of notes, send them over to me. I'll take a quick look, and you can proceed from there. And again, sometimes it's a yes and sometimes it's a no, but I'll always tell you why. Like, I don't think this one's going to make a good one. Or like, you know, I think you should reach out to the reviewer first before you dive delve too deeply into this one, because, you know, you may put hours and hours into it and then they just go, hey, sorry, you can't do it for this reason or for that reason.
Sure.
Yeah. And it looks like, John, too, you're inspiring Butterfly Girl to do some traveling. She says, you know, Earth caching definitely gets her out looking for different kinds of Earth caches, and she's actually working on planning a trip up to the New England states.
If you go to Rhode Island, email me. I have one that I can just.
There you go.
You have one published there, John?
No, I have a location. So sometimes I'll come across stuff, or so for some of you in Texas, like near the Enchanted Rock State Park, like, oh, I can like, I can't go there. Well, I guess I could, but it'd be a little bit of a road trip for me. Right. But you have to visit within the last 2 months, but it's like, oh yeah, I can give you 2 ideas for Enchanted Rock. Like right now, Rhode Island, like I can give you one right now.
Very cool.
If I were going to Rhode Island, I might hold on to that myself so that I can create it. But yeah, there's sometimes some I know right away that I can provide.
Oh, that's
Very
awesome.
cool.
That's awesome. And BC Parkin 48, she just wanted to let you know that she loves the idea. And they said they're always hesitant to find Earth caches, but this is really going to get them going to do more of them.
Oh,
So
good.
how cool is that?
That's excellent.
And John, I think this comment was probably meant for me, John. Our friend Phil said he had another French bread with pepperoni and dill pickle today. And Phil, post pictures, man. Always love to see those for sure. You never know when they'll end up on Pizza Talk. Just saying.
You never know.
Just saying. And John, it looks like you got an idea, a suggestion too from our friend Patty on here. She's saying, how about one of those digital souvenirs like Worldwide Cache Con for bingo completions?
Ooh.
So I don't think I'm overly familiar with this one. But again, that's why I did have the EarthCache find one on International EarthCache Day.
We can help you out after the show with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely something you're going to want to bring out.
We don't get many off of those, but usually there's a few of them that are out there. Little digital. It's a little icon that you can put on your own personal page. Well, we can show you how to.
Yeah. We can. That can be kind of fun.
That's not a bad idea. That's a good.
Yeah, that's really cool. And Lori is saying too that she's been wanting to put on EarthCache out in her local area. But yeah, she's now more motivated to publish one. And she says she may even do an event where they can watch some of the videos. So
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So here's my recommendation, right? And the one thing is that, you know, in the South, you know, I can go and travel to a number of locations. My preference would be to have me either in person or remotely, right? And I've taught the other day in Wisconsin, gonna be doing it this week in North Dakota, have taught out in Queensland, Australia. So if you can have an in-person class like Bamarama, that's probably the number one preferential. The second would be a remote class. That way, when questions come up, right, you're able to ask them and get an answer immediately. And then the third one would be like, all right, I do have some videos out there on how to create them, and they're based on the class. You just don't get that immediate feedback, like, I don't understand this. Hey, can you go a little bit more into that one? Like, yeah, like, okay, I can explain it until you get it, and you just don't get that with the video. But at least the videos are out there to cover all the bases, no matter where you are, 24/7 worldwide.
Yeah. And John, Butterfly Girl was asking, are you going to do a class at Cache Fest this year?
Is Cache Fest, is that the one out in Savannah?
Yeah.
Yes. Savannah.
So so Savannah's only a couple of hours away. I have not been asked. I don't mean to put the organizers on blast or to be like, why haven't you asked me? Currently not, only because the invitation hasn't been come out my way. I'd be happy to teach it out there. Right. Again, I'm happy to go on the road if that's what the organizers would like.
Yeah. And it looks like, John, you're getting a lot of interest from a lot of folks for doing classes. Katie, I'm sorry, Adina 351, says she's about 1.5 hours from Oneida County, and that's the one where definitely it needs more earth caches. So thank you for everybody in the chat room here who's indicated interest in putting out earth caches in Oneida County. But she says she'd love to host one at a local library and have you teach the class over Zoom. So, you know, if you're interested, you know, feel free to contact her. Or John, what's the best way for people to contact you as well, too, with your contact information?
I mean, the easiest way is going to be email. So it's all.things.earthcache@gmail.com. And I am fairly responsive to, might take me a couple of days, but typically not. I'm starting to catch up, especially with the EarthCacher Pass pieces. Those I've gotten a bit behind. But again, last year was really kind of proving the concept of, can this be taught remotely? Absolutely crushed it. Had very few issues. Now it just becomes is there somebody on the far end that I can coordinate with this? And yes, the easiest is a library, or at least that's the model that we've used in the past, where somebody locks on a library, and that way, you know, we can link up via Zoom or Google Meet or Teams, and then, you know, host the class. Yeah, it's been quite easy.
Very cool. And yeah, Geocaching Ninja, he wanted to share too the EarthCache challenge on Long Island that you talked about. So for our audio listeners, it's GC41MYJ. That's the EarthCache challenge that John mentioned earlier.
Yep. And that's the one I was you mentioned earlier, but I was in the one in Arkansas at a library, which worked perfect. And it was like, I mean, it was so well done and well organized and set that, you know, you could ask. It was like John being there, you know. So we were able to go through the class, ask the questions, he'd be able to answer them. So, and then, you know, we had a group there that we could also kind of discuss things. So it was very well done, very well received.
The fun thing, and I've seen this enough times where I kind of have to speak to it, is like, hey, how much does it cost for us to have you teach the class? And I'm like, wait, can I charge for this? No, it's free. Everything that I do is for the benefit of the community. So it's always absolutely been free, you know, just as a support tool for the community.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very cool.
Awesome. Yeah, and we got a few more questions. So thank you everybody for your patience, and for John for bearing with us. We're going a little bit over, but Struck 2 asks, maybe this has already been answered. Do past finds pre-2026 count?
No. So only between calendar year 26. So if you found one on 1 January, that's great. But if you found one on 31 December of 2025, that doesn't count. But you could also find one on 31 December 2026, and that would count. So again, long story short, just calendar year 26.
Very cool. And Patty Phillips has one too, asking, and I think what Patty's referring to is the find one on planetary geology on Earth. But I think the way Patty phrased it, and I just want to make sure that I have it right, is please give a suggestion how to create a star-related Earth cache, just to get her thinking.
Yeah, probably the planetary one's what she's thinking.
Yeah. When it comes to those, really what you have to do is find a feature that is found, a process or a geological process or feature that's also found on Mars. One easy one, and depending on where you are, sand dunes. Had Zumbi out in California. He was at the ET highway. He reached out to me with some ideas, and I was like, what you need to do? This was at the start of the ET highway. I'm like, you need to turn that into a planetary, geology of Mars. So which goes great with the fact that you're on the ET, that you go on the ET highway. And so now he's created one, and I think he and another person that he's helping out are creating more that are, again, all planetary geology related.
Yeah,
but this kind of ties back to what you have to have a bit of an understanding of the planetary geology to a degree of Mars. An easy way to do that is to kind of go through the different states and see what's out there now, what other people have, leverage the ones that are out there now is an easy way to get ideas for your own. I'm not saying copy paste somebody else's Earth cache. All I'm saying is, hey, this person did one on sand dunes, like, wait a minute, let me go look at this. Or the law of original horizontality. Hey, wait, that's a process out in Mars too. Like, yeah. So you just kind of have to dig into the geology of Mars in order to create.
Yeah, and I think our last comment on here is from Lori, and Lori's saying how she's looking to she's going to be looking for ones in Europe while on Worldwide Cache Cruise 2026.
Doesn't matter where you find them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
The topics are the topics, and so it's worldwide. Just you have to find it within the calendar year.
Well, and that's one of the true advantages of Earth caches too. They actually encourage them vacation caches, unlike any other type, because it's geology generally doesn't change very quickly. That's the whole point. So yeah, you can totally do it as long as you've really visited in the last couple of months. You can do it. Unlike the fake, I'm going to hide one in Hawaii. I know somebody here. It'll be okay.
Yeah, no.
This is actually encouraged by geocaching.com. So,
yep. But for the bingo, you can go anywhere. You don't have to be in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
It's worldwide, planetary wide. Could you find one? No, never mind. All right, we're getting toward the end. Let's go through some final thoughts. I'll go first, and that is, I love this. When it first came out, we were so excited. All of the members of the Geocache Talk network, they started talking about it. The usual people bragging and saying how much they've done, and it's just funny because they're like, I'm going to be done before Jesse or whatever. It was kind of funny. It was just fun watching the group sort of position and jab each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun hearing all the, no, you can never find one like that. No. And, Charles, Pathfinder 33, is like, I got all y'all beat. I'm out here in Utah. I can beat all y'all to these. It's like, oh, so it's funny to hear the different comments. And it's just funny how it led to some great conversations. So, again, very appreciative, John, of this. I'm glad we were able to jump on this and get the word out to everyone. And yeah, looking forward to seeing the stories and the stories that are going to come about from this EarthCache Bingo. So
Yeah, I agree absolutely, Gary. It was funny the discussions that happened behind the scenes were like, oh yeah, we're all getting in on this. The whole team was just started talking about it immediately. But for us, it came at a perfect time because beginning of the year, we always go through goals, what we're going to do for the year, and we were really struggling to find things. And we decided we were going to slow down and just find quality caches and pick good things like that. And this fit perfectly into what we're doing because there's 25 squares, but it's actually less than that, right? If you're talking about. So you can slow down, do these things, enjoy what you're doing, which is generally the idea of EarthCache is to slow down and look at stuff. And I think you've hit on something good here. Like, obviously, I'm a big fan of challenges, and any kind of game we can make out of our game makes it even more fun, right? And not everything can be published as a challenge. Just like this, you could not publish this bingo card as a challenge. Can't include publishing caches. Can't do a lot of this other stuff that was on here. It wouldn't fit. But now you have a way to add something new. And even with just the people tonight, you hear how people are talking and thinking about how they're going to go caching and get more involved in this. That's already a win. You've already kind of won, and we're just starting in January. So I think you're onto something good. I think it's going to be fun. I'm excited to see how it goes throughout the year.
One thing I should probably point out as well is that it's not sponsored by Geocaching Headquarters or the GSA. I mean, I can't see them coming down and being like, "What do you think you're doing?" You can't. Like, oh wait, like I'm promoting your stuff. Like, I don't see what the problem is, and it's not costing you anything. But it is not sponsored by Geocaching Headquarters or the GSA. And this is just me.
No, but I suspect they would be in favor of it.
Right? Absolutely. Yeah, I can't see them hating it.
we're sponsoring it. That's the important thing. We're the sponsors of it.
Yeah, I will give John one slice of pizza next time I see him. So my in-kind contribution.
That's our sponsor package.
Yeah, to EarthCache Bingo. And in saying that, John, I mean, thank you again for doing this because I mean, it's just so cool the energy around EarthCaches because I know when I got started years ago, it just kind of like, and I hate to say it, I mean, it's part of my perception, and was just like EarthCaches kind of seem stale. People seem to be like writing them like those lengthy verbose ones, not formatted well. Mm-hmm. Not where Gary Lewis, when we had him on the show, where he was really saying, they should be phrased for people at like a 7th or 8th grade reading level. They should present like a good, opportunity for learning people where they don't have to have like a college degree. So, I'm just excited because I think when Gary, came on the show and talked about that, HQ came back and was like, guys, we need to relook at EarthCaches and do them in a different ways. And I think what you're doing, I think this is like an amazing movement coming together, to make EarthCaches like just really breathe so much incredible energy into them. And I think, I mean, even through the comments we saw in the chat room where some people are just like really jazzed about hiding EarthCaches. I mean, to me, that's cool because I think once people have that in their local community, that kind of energy, that interest in well done caches, that's just going to like bring so much energy into them, So yeah, and I of course I agree with Scott on here too, where Scott says the new Geocaching HQ new guidelines are very helpful to make them better. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm just jazzed, John. So thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
John, you get the last word, my friend.
No, again, I appreciate you all having me on the show, and again, I appreciate y'all's enthusiasm towards this as well. Again, this was an idea born 6 weeks ago, and I had no idea how well it would be embraced, and I know that it's almost like a snowball, right, that we're experiencing now. So it's starting out smaller, but like by the end, somebody could discover this in October and be like, well, I've already found 50 EarthCaches. Beautiful. Well, as long as you find them in 2026, that's all that counts. And I too am excited to learn about the different stories that are out there. GSM times 2, his video gave me an idea of like, I should probably start to kind of collate all those and then share those stories and the successes for people like, hey, check it out, Jesse's already done with his card. In fact, he's going to go do it again. He's so awesome with all of this, right? Just to get again to keep the energy up throughout the entire year. But again, I appreciate you all helping me leverage the community and help
Absolutely.
energize the community.
Yeah, and John, I just heard you challenge Jesse to do loops of
Loops,
the
yeah, I
bingo
was gonna
card.
say,
Is that
You know what's funny is I just thought
Here it
about that. Like
comes.
I didn't even think of the fact that like
Yeah,
I
he's
have
gonna
to do
loop.
this challenge 3 times. Like
I like the loop idea. I mean, unofficially, I think that's pretty cool. You know,
That is cool.
it's like
right?
the diamond badge you get for like badge gen. It does a
Yeah.
little number when you loop it.
Loop it.
That's awesome. I love it.
That's
now, do you
perfect.
get any more entries? Like, I don't know. Like maybe like
I'm not even worried about that. I just want to like. This is
I'm in
fun.
charge of this little game, so
Yeah.
maybe.
No,
Uh-oh.
Jesse's gonna loop no matter what.
Yeah, Jesse, I'm going to take the challenge no matter what. But
Yeah, I think you're good for at least 4 loops. Just saying.
well,
Yeah.
you know, I have to get in an area that's got volcanoes and glaciers and above 1,500 feet, which used to I did, but now we'll see. 1,500 feet is going to be the. I can get that. I'll figure it out.
He'll probably publish at least 8 or 9 Earth caches this year, so that makes sense.
I'm at 2 right now, so we're good.
So there you go.
Right.
See, cool. All right. Well, thanks, and looking forward to hearing the stories from everybody. Get your EarthCache Bingo card. Check the show notes; they'll be there. Geocachetalk.com. There you go. There's the thing there, the bingo card, and looking forward to hearing the stories about this. So sounds good. All right. Well, thanks everyone. John, we got anything coming up that you want to talk about, or?
Yeah, so Gary, this is the last Tuesday of the month, so no show this week.
Right.
But the cool thing is when we come back to the first Tuesday of the month, we're going to have Puzzle Talk. So we're going to have an announcement coming out on that show. So stay tuned for that.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. I'm fighting my cold, so I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm good. All right. Y'all have a good night. Take care.
Take care, everybody.
Go find Earth caches. Go get a loop done. Good night, everybody.
Geo Bingo! Geo Bingo! Spin that globe! Let's go! Click your boots, grab your pack. We're never looking back.